R2-D2, Your Highness.
Welcome back to Scale Model Kit Review. This is issue 66 from Build Your Own R2-D2, and this is actually part of pack 17. And right now you can only get this from Fan Home. I highly recommend it. I purchased this years ago from Model Space, D'Agostini, and I'm finally getting back to building this for you. So in this issue, this is the last part of putting components inside of the dome, and then after that I'll be assembling the main body. So that will begin in issue 67, which is a later video. Let's look at the build instructions. And here's the build instructions. Let's get a closer look. Dome fittings and circuit board. And here's the component checklist, distribution board, mounting plate, and those plastic screws. And if you've watched my previous videos, I'm replacing those plastic screws with the metal M3 screws. I put a link down below. We'll be putting the last of the screws up there, 6 more. Installing the electronics. So with this, it's actually the projector. So we need to grab the projector that we received in stage 29, and we're going to mount that inside the dome. Then with this issue, we received a distribution board and a plate, a mounting plate for that. We're going to mount that next inside of the dome. So there really isn't a whole lot to do here. Let me get the parts and I'll be right back. Here's parts pack for 66. Let's get a closer look. Here's those parts. Of course, the plastic screws and the distribution board. This board goes into the dome and it's going to plug all our wiring from the main body, the main board, to the dome. And of course the mounting plate for the distribution board. First thing I'll do, I'm going to install those screws into the dome, and you saw how that was done in the previous last 2 issues. So I'm going to go ahead and show you where they went. So I'm going to go ahead and show you where those screws go into, and if you look right beside issue 1 light, red and blue light that we put in, over here to the left of it, we'll put 2 screws in right there, and then if I turn it over to the right, we got 4 more to go in right over here. Now I need to correct myself because we do have more screws that go in a little bit later, and they'll be right there. So we may actually put those in the next issue, but I'm not sure. And you can see those 2 are in, and those 4 are in. These 2 did not go in all the way. I just put them in until they were snug, and I put a little tap of super glue on them, and if they need to be repositioned later, that super glue will easily break free. Next, I brought over stage 29 Projector Assembly, and just a little background on this. I did have to replace the circuit board, which was received in stage 27 or issue 27. I suggest you do an operational check of your board before you use it. So this is a brand new board that I received. I didn't check it out, but I'm hoping it did work. I really don't want to mess with it too much. It has one of those weird connectors you'll see normally on your PC or on your motherboard on your computer that connect up all these little microscopic cables and stuff to items. So, but there it is, and we're going to install this inside the dome. When you look inside the dome, you can see this is the same area we were on, adding those screws that were over here. This is that mounting plate, or the platform we installed in stage or issue 62. So this is going to mount down on top of that, and you can see there's some mounting pegs. just like that. Okay, so they're on top of those mounting pegs. To secure this down, I'm going to be using two 2.3 by 6 millimeter screws, and these are the self-tapping screws. And just screw it down until it's tight. That's good there. And that's what that looks like. Look on the other side. That's what that looks like. I still need to touch that up with some black paint. Now let's install that distribution panel. Next, it's time to assemble the distribution panel. This is the distribution board, where all our wires from the main body plug into the head and the distribution plate. So I'm simply just going to put that down on top of that. It only goes on one way, lining up to 3 screw holes. The screws we did not receive in this stage, so I hope you saved your screws. These are the 2.6 by 6 millimeter self-tapping. Oops. And these are self-tapping. And the last one. That's good there. Now we're going to mount this inside of our R2 unit. Right here. They want us to put in 2.5 by 4 millimeter screws, and these are the silver ones. Since these screws aren't marked, you want to do a test fit to make sure you're using the right screw. The screw needs to be 4 millimeter, needs to be long enough to hold the plate on because it's kind of thick, and just give it a test. Yep, that's the right one, because remember that this side is all threaded already, so it just threads right in. Now I'll take the distribution panel and lay it down on top of that. And put 3 of these screws in. And there you go. Distribution panel plugged in. And that's all I do with this issue. Fantastic. Before I leave you in this video, I'll show you the articles in the magazine. This theme is sound and vision, which is fitting because of the camera install. And they do talk about how they're repurposing some of the audios, especially Darth Vader's infamous heavy breathing, the music and such. BB-8, Astromech Part 3. We all know about BB-8. Fantastic. Bandai has a really cool, large-scale BB-8 kit. Search and rescue, so they do talk about real robotics and how it's used in those instances, and I'm sure it's been used recently. There's been a lot of disasters in other countries and such. And of course the build instructions, and then lastly give us a preview of what's coming in 67. So we're going to start on the main body and the bottom plates and such, and that completes issue 66. Having a blast building this, and I'm really glad I'm bringing it back to you. Once a week I'll be updating this build, so stay tuned for next week's installment for issue 67. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel and smash the like button. Remember, you can only get this from FanHome. I purchased mine from Model Space D'Agostini many years ago. Happy modeling, everybody, and take care.